Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a horror comedy film, ZOMBIBI. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a lazy man named Fluffy walking inside an abandoned building. He points his gun at a suspected monster, and then he introduces himself. The scene shifts to a flashback where Fluffy is at work in his office in Amsterdam. Fluffy doesn't like his job, or even his life in general, and he's constantly bothered by his brother, Bro, who calls him to mention a sick party that he's currently attending. However, Fluffy becomes lazy and starts dating the cutest girl in his office, named Babe. Fluffy's boss watches as Babe sits on Fluffy's desk and flirts with him. She sets up a date for tonight, and Fluffy is very excited, as are his work friends who tease him about Babe. However, Boss ruins the mood of the office because he is jealous of Fluffy. He scolds Fluffy and wants him to work overtime today. But then, Bro calls up once again to talk about all the models he's chilling with. Boss uses this as an excuse and fires Fluffy without even letting him defend himself. Fluffy packs up his things and decides to meet his brother, who is wilding out at the party. Everyone is going crazy and having a good time while Fluffy enters the house with his stuff. He finds his brother and goes up to him. Bro is happy to see Fluffy, but is scolded because it was his phone call that got Fluffy fired. Regardless, Bro tells Fluffy to chill because he has a great business plan for them. Now Bro gets a little overexcited and throws a ball into the air, but it ends up hitting a girl who is massaging a muscular man. This makes the man angry, so he summons his bodyguards, Fatty and Lanky, to take care of Bro and Fluffy. They chase after the smelly brothers and eventually get into a fight, thus leading to their arrest. Now Fluffy and Bro are put into one cell, while Fatty and Lanky are put right opposite them. As expected, Bro picks up a fight with Fatty and Lanky, but they only end up making sounds at each other while dancing around in their cells. Then, a female cop brings in a new prisoner named Thief, and she puts him in between both the groups. Cop gets teased by everyone except Fluffy, who has bigger problems on his mind. It becomes too much for Cop to stand, so she zaps Bro with a taser and fires a tasing gun at the other two, thus shocking them to the ground. At nighttime, Babe is still waiting for Fluffy to come see her, but she is left alone at the office. Boss takes this chance to flirt with her because he wants her hormones badly. However, Babe rejects his bossy muscles and walks away. As Boss acts grumpy over this, he notices an asteroid entering the city and begins to scream like a chicken. Soon enough, the asteroid strikes the office building and creates a mess. An alert is sounded at the police station after the lights go off, and the team is confused as to what's going on. Suddenly, their cells open up, so they get out of them. But Bro gets into another argument with Lanky and Fatty. Fluffy wants to check out the station, but Thief wishes him the best of luck before running his thiefy body away. Now the team goes to the locker rooms, and everyone gets their phones back. However, Fluffy has received alarming voice notes, especially from Babe. He goes out of the police station to check, but finds the roads in disarray, just like the station. That's when we see the zombie apocalypse has taken over the city. As Fluffy checks out the voice note from Babe, the group is startled by a granny who comes rolling toward them in a wheelchair. They don't think much of her at first, but then she shows herself to be a zombie and attacks them with her granny rotten teeth. The team panics upon seeing zombie granny, but then Cop shows up and saves them with a shotgun blast. She leads the team back inside the police station for safety. There they watch the news where a reporter says that the zombie apocalypse has begun and people are advised to stay indoors. He also says that the Prime Minister has ordered the army to take over the city for safety purposes. Now the team finally sees the asteroid stuck to the office building and learns that it's actually a space probe from Russia, which is covered in green goo. This green goo is suspected to be the reason why everyone in the city has turned into a zombie. The team decides to get into action and save themselves from this apocalypse, but Fatty is only interested in checking out some bowling balls. He puts his fingers inside one of them. As expected, the ball gets stuck to his arm. Cop tries to keep the team calm, but then Granny Zombie shows up in front of the window. To make matters worse, even more zombies start showing up from inside the station, so the team has to fight them off. Cop keeps shooting at the zombies, but body shots don't seem to work on their bulletproof muscles. A hilarious battle follows as the team members use anything they can find to fight the zombies. This ranges from fans to even dustbins. Luckily, Fatty uses the bowling ball to smash the head of a skinny zombie, and it dies from the impact. After learning that the head is the weakness of the zombies, Fluffy uses his fan to kill another one in a brutal fashion. The team finally comes out on top and starts to celebrate, but then Granny Zombie enters the station to attack them. Luckily, Thief shows up and kills her from behind. Now, the team checks the news again, and the reporter says that survivors must go to the designated safe zones to stay away from the zombies. So the team sets out on their journey. However, they find way too many zombies on the road, so they have to fight all of them. It starts to get tricky, so the team finds a sports store and gets under the shutter. They find all kinds of equipment inside this store and figure that they can use it against the zombies. As they explore the place, Babe calls up Fluffy and asks him to help her as her sexy body is stuck in the vent of the office. Fluffy wants to go after Babe and save her life, but the others don't think that this is a good idea. Fluffy gives them all a touching speech to inspire them, but Fatty distracts everyone when he tries on a new shirt. Cop tries to reason with Fluffy regarding his mission to save Babe, but Bro takes his side and tells the team to come along for the ride. In order to fight the zombies outside, everyone takes some kind of equipment as their weapon. During the chaos, Bro finds money in the cash register and wants to steal it because he needs to start his business with Fluffy. Thief likes his way of thinking and tells him to go for it. Now the team comes out of the store with all their weapons, but Fluffy is simply inside a hockey suit. Cop asks Fluffy to take off the handsome mask, but instead of tongue massaging him, she punches him in his ugly face. Now Bro and Lanky look for a mode of transport, but they don't want to drive a basic car. They spot a limousine and decide to check it out. They find a popular singer chilling inside it as well. However, Bro accidentally kills him with his arrow gun. Meanwhile, Fluffy is confronted by a giant zombie and gets into a fight with it. He is shown to be useless in battle, so Cop rushes toward him to help. She saves him from the zombie, and he takes off his hockey suit because it's just in the way. The singer also becomes the zombie and attacks Bro and Lanky instead of singing them a song. They panic and get out of the limousine. The team comes together, but there are lots of zombies closing in on them, so Lanky brings out his zombie ball buster. He fires the balls in a dramatic fashion, but it doesn't do much to the zombies, so the team runs away and finds shelter inside a shop run by two mechanics. Now, Cop says sorry to Fluffy for punching him and begins to show some interest as well. Meanwhile, the mechanics tell the team that the green goo coming from the zombies can be used to power up cars as well. Also, they are keeping a muscular zombie on chains to access this goo. Suddenly, the zombie breaks free and attacks one of the mechanics, after which it gets into a fight with the team. It is too strong to be taken down, and Fluffy gets distracted when Babe calls him up to mention that a zombie is chasing her sexy body in the vents. The team struggles against the zombie, and even Cop is accidentally knocked out in the process. Now, Fatty manages to kill the zombie using 2 bowling balls rather than his bare fat muscles. The coast is clear for now, but Bro and the others get greedy and leave Fluffy alone with Cop so that they can go rob a bank and make easy money. They reach the bank and start collecting the cash, but Fatty finds a dead man with his face on a birthday cake. Fatty takes a lick from the cake, but the dead man becomes a zombie and tastes his greasy arm. Fatty manages to kill the skinny zombie, but he's destined to die. Meanwhile, Fluffy carries Cop in a trolley and walks through the zombies. Cop wakes up at the right time and uses a hammer to knock down the zombies attacking her and Fluffy. At the bank, everyone gets ready to leave, but Thief threatens the others with his gun and leaves with their money as well. Bro and Lanky feel cheated, but they see Fatty and his bitten arm. Elsewhere, Fluffy and Cop spot the office building and go towards it, hoping to save Babe. Cop asks him how long he has known Babe, but slaps him after learning that it hasn't just been 2 days. Now, Bro calls Fluffy to say what happened with Thief and Fatty. At the same time, Babe calls Fluffy and asks him to hurry up, so now he has to decide which one of them is the priority. Bro and Lanky panic as zombies start to enter the bank, and even Fatty begins to transform into a greasy zombie. They hilariously try to find a way to kill Fatty and eventually use a stand on his face, but fail to kill him in one shot. They try again and again with different methods, but Fatty somehow survives all the damage, possibly because his muscle is too thick and greasy. With no other choice, Lanky and Bro drop a sink on Fatty, but he survives that as well. As Cop and Fluffy try to sneak into the office building, Fluffy accidentally activates a car alarm and attracts all the zombies toward them. Now the news mentions a Russian commander named Vodka who's going to fly in and blow up the office building in order to destroy all the zombies. At the same time, a zombie breaks into the newsroom, so the reporter kills it with his AK-69. Lanky and Bro finally end Fatty's fat life, and then they link up with Cop and Fluffy, who have decided to save Bro first. However, the team gets cornered by the zombies in a playground. Things are looking tough for them, but suddenly 2 random Matrix brothers show up and fight all the zombies as if they are playing a video game. They also have a pet zombie, which surprisingly listens to their orders and kills all the zombies in front of it. The Matrix brothers give no explanation to the team and simply drive away. Now the team reaches a safety camp and asks the soldiers for help, but they are told to get tested first. Fluffy doesn't want to waste any time, so he takes their van and drives to the office building with the team. They find all kinds of weapons inside the van, so they load up and enter the office building, while Lanky guards them from outside. He uses a giant machine gun and blasts all the zombies coming toward him. The three of them get into the elevator, but get stuck inside, so they have to pry their way out of it. Even Lanky runs out of ammo, so he runs into the building. He climbs up the stairs, while the others crawl under the tables to avoid alerting the zombies nearby. The team soon finds one of Fluffy's co-workers. However, he reveals that someone else has saved Babe, so both Cop and Bro berate Fluffy for being an idiot. Now, all the zombies show up and attack the team. As Bro and Cop shoot at the zombies, Fluffy calls Babe, but she's busy sharing her hormones with the man who saved her. Unfortunately, Boss shows up as a zombie and kills Babe's savior. He then bites her lips for food, not for massage. Lanky keeps climbing the stairs, but tires down quickly because he's too skinny and weak. Fluffy and Bro reach the roof and find the Space Pro, but are attacked by even more zombies. They put up a fight, but also argue with each other in the process. Fluffy goes too far when he calls Bro a failure, but they make up after that. Suddenly, Commander Vodka shows up, drunken, but acts like a hero, flexing his heroic muscles. But he doesn't realize a zombie is eating his smelly foot, possibly because it tastes good and alcoholic. Commander Vodka gets humiliated and kills the zombies in rage. He then shows Fluffy and Bro the detonator that he has brought to blow up the building. Before Commander Vodka can detonate the place, he turns into an alcoholic zombie and fights Fluffy and Bro. The drunk zombie is too strong to be defeated. It bites Bro, mistaking him for a bottle of wine. Fluffy manages to kill it with a pin grenade, but it's too late for Bro now. Fluffy becomes emotional, but Bro gives him 10 minutes to evacuate before he blows up the building. On his way down, Fluffy finds Boss Zombie and ends his bossy life. Then he finds Cop, who has just killed the sexy zombie Babe after a girly fight earlier, and sends her sexy head into Fluffy's hands. They run down the stairs and meet Lanky, who is about to reach the top. A horde of zombies attacks Bro. He tries shooting them, but gets eaten by them. Luckily, he is able to detonate the building and kill all the zombies. As the team escapes the building, they find the Matrix brothers and get into their car. They reach the safety camp, where Cop and Fluffy are about to kiss, but Lanky takes them inside before they can spit out their smelly tongues. Unfortunately, it turns out that everyone in the camp has turned into a vampire. The movie ends with the team charging at the vampires. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.